Hello and welcome to the United Community Channel, and we're back with another transfer talk show, and it's going to be a good one. We have plenty to talk about tonight, and obviously there's breaking news in relation to, Manchester United making another new signing, which is always good. And we have a lot to talk about in terms of maybe potential deals that could be done before the end of the transfer window as well. So plenty to get into. Obviously, we have the big breaking news today is that Casemiro is basically a done deal for Manchester United, and he is going to join up with the squad maybe in the coming 4 or 5 days. Contrary to reports, he's not going to be available for the Liverpool game, which is a shame. The only reason he's not going to be available is because he needs a visa before he comes to England and works, in the UK. So that's why he's going to miss out on the Liverpool game. It is a shame. It really is. It's definitely a shame that he's going to miss that game because look, I mean, we need him and we need him ASAP. And look, what do I think of it? Obviously the I suppose the major talk around the deal from the pessimists have been his age and how much he's getting. Now, look, he's 30 years of age. He's by no means over the hill. I mean, you look at Fernandinho, for example, for Man City. He was doing it, consistently and doing it well up until the age of 37. Now obviously he was playing in a much better team, and that has to be taken into consideration without a doubt. But look, I certainly do think we're after making a good signing. Contrary to reports, he's not going to be getting double his wages that what he was getting at Real Madrid. But reports have suggested that he will be on a salary similar enough to David De Gea, which is around anywhere between 300 and 350,000 a week. He is getting a 4-year deal with the option of another year, which Manchester United tend to do all the time with their, with any contracts, So, yeah, I mean, it's Casemiro is basically done. It's basically done and dusted. Everything is agreed with the player and with Real Madrid, and yeah, he's going to be over the line in the coming days. Like I said, it is unfortunate that he won't be here for the Liverpool game, but look, I mean, we've signed a very good player. Let's call a spade here. And I mean, any I suppose Manchester United fan that gives out about this deal, and look, I'm not getting away from the Glazers out movement and all of that. I'm still heavily in favour of that, and I'm going to get onto that at the end because I want to finish on that. But if we take this solely as a transfer for Manchester United, it's very, very good. It's a great signing. He's a very good player. He's won 5 Champions League medals, multiple league titles, cups, all of these kind of things. So, and if anything, if he hadn't have won all of them, he's still better than McTominay. So that can only be a positive. That can only be a positive, So I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy with it. I have to say, he will bring a lot of experience first and foremost. But I think he's ideally what we need. We've been looking for a CDM for the last 3-4 years now, and we haven't gone out and got one. So, we've got one now. We've basically got, and we've got a damn good one, which is good. It's not going to fix all of the issues at Manchester United, absolutely not. But it's a start, So, look, I think it's a great sign, and I'm really happy about it. Cam says, I think we need to sign Savage to make our centre players to be strong. The Lost Poet says, 30 in 2022 is like a 26, 27-year-old fit of players. Come on, yeah, absolutely. And the way modern players look after themselves now, and, how they, look after their diets and their bodies and all of that kind of stuff, I'm not worried with it at all. Kevin says, as long as we get him over the line, that's the main thing. And Cam says, before the window closes, we need about 4 or 5 more signings to improve our squad and start getting good results. And Twigs says, Scott McTominay is the best player ever. Well, Twigs, you're probably the only one on the face of the planet that thinks that. Let's see what people are saying on TikTok here. Please smash a like on the video as well, guys. Anyone watching on TikTok, please tap that screen for me. And anyone watching on YouTube, please take a second, hit the thumbs up button for me. Anyone that's watching on TikTok, there is an awful lot of comments flying in. If you do want a comment read out, you can go over. We're live on YouTube as well. It's always a lot quieter in the chat over there. Link is on my homepage. Head over to the YouTube channel there as well. Let's see what people are saying here. We'll get through some of them. Robbo says, a winning mentality player in a key position we've needed for years. I mean, you've ticked every box there, Robbo. Absolutely, 100%. You know, winning mentality, workhorse, expects nothing but, you know, victory and hunger and desire, and a bit of a general in the centre of the park, and that's exactly what we need. That's exactly what we need, so I'm really happy. Modern Day says, remember people said same Maguire over Lindelof? Is that in relation to Casemiro and McTominay? Well, if it is the case, it's night and day. There is no comparison between the two of them. McTominay is rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. Owen says, I'm delighted for Casemiro, but we're still short of a right-wing striker, CM and right back. Yeah, well, look, we're going to get into more. I'm going to go through, we've been linked with an awful lot, and there is very good movement in relation to Anthony that I do want to let you know about. And I'll tell you this, we're getting him. All right, but I'll get into it in a few minutes. Rob says, delighted they got it over the line. Thought he was using the club to let it be known he wanted to move. Yeah, and I think a lot of people thought that as well, Rob. You know, when he first, when the news first broke, and it was great to see today. I heard a quote from him. Now, look, these quotes can be, you know, you take them with a pinch of salt. We don't know how true they are. But basically, Casemiro has stated that, look, he knows he's going to be taking a step back in relation to going from Real Madrid to Manchester United, but his main goal in doing so was bringing United back to their glory years. All right, and these are all just snippets, and they're great sound bites and all, but it's the mentality that you want to have. I mean, look at a week ago, okay, and Rabiot and his fucking nutcase of a mother. Ricey, thanks for the gift, or Ricky, thanks for the gift. Really appreciate it, man. But if you go back a week, right, to Rabiot, who we were basically, it was done and dusted, all of that fell apart because he wanted to play Champions League football, but he would have come to United for the stature of the club, but only if we give him 10 million a year in wages. It's a complete different mentality than what we're hearing from the likes of Casemiro today, you know, so happy days. Abdi says, we need another centre-back. Maguire is a disaster in the making. Need to change formation to suit his play, says Rob. I wouldn't think so, Rob. I mean, I would be very, very happy with Casemiro in the 6, Holden, then Eriksen in the 8, and Bruno in the 10. No problems there. Absolutely no problems there. You could play double pivot with Fred beside him, which he does for Brazil an awful lot. So, look, there's options. There's options. And look, I do think that we're going to be in for another centre midfielder before the window is over. So let's see what happens. Need a striker, says James. Tom says, check Twitter. Gatpo just said he wants United. Let's have a look. Let me just open up Twitter here. I did see there was links with Gakpo only just before I came on. Let's see. Yeah, so I'll get into Gakpo now. I was going to keep him till later in the transfer talk show, but according to Jason Burt in the Telegraph, Manchester United are ready to go all out for Cody Gakpo, and a bid is imminent. And he's also suggested that PSV are holding out for a fee of around 38.2 million. However, the negotiations are not expected to be an issue once Manchester United make a bid, which is good news. And again, I commented on this last week that obviously United were going in for Gakpo, and I did think it was something that was going to happen. But I don't think anything is going to get over the line until at least PSV play their second leg of the Champions League qualifier against Rangers next week. So, I mean, PSV would be stupid to let him go before then. But look, that doesn't mean a deal can't be ready to go in the background and we can just pull the trigger as soon as that game is over. But PSV do want to qualify for the Champions League proper, and obviously keeping him until then. So, look, that would be something that you would be thinking maybe late next week, and that could run potentially on to maybe the transfer deadline day. Which, by the way, while I get on to transfer deadline day, I'm going to be going live the entire day for transfer deadline day on YouTube. So make sure anyone that's watching on TikTok or on YouTube, anyone on TikTok, you can click the link on my homepage and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're going to be live for about, I'd say 9 to 10 hours throughout the whole day, and I'm going to have Sky Sports News on. We're going to be talking about any moves that are happening. Obviously, I think it's going to be a busy one for Manchester United. So make sure you're following on TikTok and subscribing on YouTube as well to make sure you don't miss out on that. But yeah, I do think Gakpo could roll on to maybe to transfer deadline day, but maybe not all the way to transfer deadline day. But I do think it would be late in the window before we can sign him due to PSV. Anyway, on to the next player that we've been linked with. And of course, we mentioned it on Wednesday night that Manchester United are back in for Anthony. And it's picked up pace in the last couple of days as well. And according to Darren Machette on Sky Sports News, that Manchester United are making an improved offer for Anthony, and it's not ruled out. It's also been suggested then that... obviously, there was reports today that Anthony didn't train with Ajax. He was in the training complex in Amsterdam, but didn't actually train with the team, which is good. Which is a good sign. You would have to say it's a good sign. Now, Manchester United, and according to reports, we're going in with an €80 million bid, with potentially 20 million additional in add-ons. So Manchester United are worrying here. They're really starting to panic in relation to getting players in the door. Now, 100 million for Anthony is too much. I don't care. Now, if it's the Glazers, it's not the Glazers' money because they've never spent any money. We know that. But the one thing I would say is this flurry of spending that the Glazers are doing, and we're going to get onto that in a few minutes, is panic buy because of all of the rumours that, and the pressure for them to leave and all of this kind of stuff as well. So let them spend the money, let them get the players in, but we keep the pressure on them to go. But we'll get into that later. And I think one of the most promising signs today is that Mike I can never pronounce his name, Mike Verwij. Now he's the chief football reporter for De Telegraaf in Holland, and he has come out and said that Ajax are strongly linked with Ziyech from Chelsea as a backup to Anthony. Now that's great news for any Manchester United fan in relation to Anthony, because it means that deals are being done. So I'm gonna go 95% now on Anthony. I'm really up there now with thinking we're going to get him. I really do think we're going to get him. I think he's going to be a very good signing. I don't care how much we spend on him, to be honest with you. I will be happy with the signing. Look, it's not the whole excitement and kind of and it's been a I've been watching on Twitter throughout the day that on Twitter people are saying, okay, like especially with the Casemiro deal, people are saying, okay, right, Casemiro signed, great, Glazers out, and that's what we need. We can't take our eye off the ball here. We have to keep the pressure on. If we're taking the transfers specifically for what they are, the Casemiro transfer is a very, very good transfer, absolutely, and I'm very happy with it. So yeah, so Anthony, I'm 95% we're going to get Anthony as well. I really am. I think it's going to be, I think it's shaping up to be a half decent transfer window now. Obviously, we would have liked to got all of these deals done early. And who knows, we mightn't have lost the first two games of the season. We may have, but I think the fact that we're getting these deals done now, it's better late than never. And especially if we're looking long term with Ten Hag, which I've said an awful lot. It's happy days, the fact that we're getting these players in now, that Ten Hag can work with over the next 3 or 4 or 5 years. Let's see what people are saying on YouTube here. Raj says, I'm fed up with signing issues. Most important thing, good performance. Doesn't matter who's coming. Cam says, Twigs, I disagree with your statement. Twigs says, have you seen the best player ever, Scott McTominay? Do keep you uppies. Miko says, Casemiro is exactly the player we need, and he'll bring in a winning mentality, and he's won multiple Champions Leagues, and will play a leading role in the midfield as well. Absolutely, Miko. I agree with you there, 100%. The last post says, Glazers have to spend the money now, especially with Jim Radcliffe sniffing around. Absolutely. Cam says, I remember I told my brothers that Scott is a nonsense player. Kevin says, Casemiro could form that Brazilian partnership with Fred. Absolutely. And they do play together for the Brazilian national team all the time. Raj says, I'm not carried away with Casemiro joining us. Okay. I think he's a good player, Raj. I think we've made a good signing there. What's on Ronaldo's mind? Should he stay now? I don't know, to be honest. I'm going to try and stay away from Ronaldo as much as possible on this, but I'll say really quick on it. Ronaldo is not going to backtrack on this. He wants out. And he's going to try and get out, but it's down to Manchester United now whether we let him go or not. I made a statement on it on Wednesday, and I made a TikTok out of it since, that the reason why I think we should let him go has nothing got to do with football, and that's the issue. It's all to do with Ronaldo and headlines and throwing his hands up in the air and leaving at half time. All of these things being reported is a distraction, is taken away from the football, and the football is what's important, not whether Ronaldo leaves at half time. And all of this fanfare that goes with him, that's why I think he should leave. He'll still be a legend in my eyes. I have no hard feelings against him. Let's see what people are saying here. Twigs says, any aero melts, lad? Nah, only for game day. Only for game day, Twigs. The aero melts come out on game day. You know, I'm watching me figure. I'm in the gym. Can't be eating aero melts every time I do a live. Miko says, of course you should get carried away with Casemiro, but he will improve the squad and strengthen the midfield significantly. Listen, anyone debating whether Casemiro shouldn't come to, you know, we shouldn't be going for Casemiro. Like, we should be going for, I should be playing centre midfield ahead of Scott McTominay, and I'm not good, you know. So Casemiro is a drastically better player, is vastly better. Sorry, it's a vast improvement on Scott McTominay, and it breaks up McFred, which is great news, because it's been a long bloody time coming, you know. Keep smashing a like on the video, guys, as well. Anyone watching on TikTok, we have nearly 40 there now watching on TikTok. Or sorry, we have over 40 watching on YouTube and only 12 likes. Please take a second, hit the thumbs up button for me. Helps out the channel an awful lot. And anyone on TikTok, please tap the screen, get the likes up. We'll try and hit 10,000 before the end of the live. And again, like I said, anyone that's watching on TikTok, if you do want to go over to the YouTube channel, you can click on the link on my homepage. Probably better chance that you get your comment read out over there, because it tends to be quieter in the chat. Mikey is in and says, well, pal, have not been on in a while. Hope all is well. Good to see you, Mikey. Thanks for popping in again, man. You're more than welcome. A few of the lads having a bit of a tiff here in the chat, giving out about McTominay. Casemiro is a plus. However, you look at it from what we have at the moment. Absolutely, Kevin. Absolutely. Let's see what people are saying here on TikTok. Fog says, Fog yourself. Who else are they signing aside from Casemiro? Typical United signing, paying too much for a player. Look, it's not coming out of your pocket or mine. Let's just get the signing in. That's what I want. You know, let's get the signing in. He's a brilliant footballer. He's what we need in the position that we desperately needed. Let's just go get him. Anything new about Greenwood? No. And let's see. Have we defo got Casemiro, says Andrew. Yeah, looks like it, Andrew. I mean, Fabrizio Romano doesn't come out and say, here we go, without it being pretty nailed on. So, yeah, Casemiro is pretty much done and dusted. We won't have him for the Liverpool game, though. That's the only thing, because he won't get a visa in time. Who should partner Casemiro? Well, that's a good question. And it's something I've been thinking about today. I mean, it certainly gives us options. You know, would you play... It depends who you play, really. You could play Casemiro, Fred and Bruno or Eriksen. But I think ideally myself, I would play Casemiro and Eriksen with Bruno ahead of them. Yeah, that's what I would do. I think so, because Casemiro is your defensive player, that can break up the play and win the tackles and stop the opposition from attacking and all that kind of stuff. Eriksen can be the guy to take the ball off the back four. Now I know we had a bit of trouble with that last week against Brentford, but he can do it, and he's well capable of doing it. It was mistakes that David De Gea made and Harry Maguire made. And then we have Bruno in the 10. So I think that's a pretty good midfield, I'd have to say. Let me know what you would do. Get your comments into the chat, guys. Let me know what you would do. With Casemiro signing, what three would you play? If we're going to play three in the middle, let me know what three you'd play. Let's get the comments into the chat there. Jong says, could Anthony transfer happen this week? I think it can. I really do think it can. Yeah. I don't think we'll get him in time for Liverpool, but I certainly do think by our game, I think we're playing next Saturday. I certainly would hope we could get him in by then. Absolutely. Let's see what people are saying here. Casemiro, Donny and Bruno, says Robbo. That's interesting. Fred, Casemiro and Eriksen, says Jock. There you go. Is Casemiro finally a keen replacement, says Sel. I mean, look, he certainly has that kind of aura about him, the stern look and tackles one and, doesn't hold back. So I'm not going to compare him to Roy Keane because Roy Keane is incomparable. But yeah, look, he's a good signing. Daniel says 4-3-3, Casemiro in front of the back four and Eriksen and Fernandes pushing forward. Yeah, that's what I would have said as well, Daniel. Gabe says, honestly, I would try sign Yuri Tielemans for cheap and have him play next to Casemiro. Yeah, absolutely. Kelly is in. Good to see you, Kelly. And let's see what people are saying on YouTube here. Is the De Jong deal over, says Alan. I don't think it's over. I really don't, Alan. I think Manchester United are still going to be in for him. Whether we get him or not is another thing. Now, could you imagine Casemiro and De Jong with Bruno or Eriksen playing ahead of him? Now, there's a central midfield. I mean, there's a central midfield. And there's three players that would really, really complement each other, So, user 1828 says 4-3-3, Casemiro, McTominay and Eriksen. I'm nearly going to block you. If you put McTominay into the three in midfield after we sign Casemiro, I've been waiting for 5 years to get him out of the bloody team. No way is he getting into that midfield. No way. And listen, I'd be surprised if he never plays for the club again. I wouldn't be surprised. He's that bad. Raj says Casemiro, Fred and Eriksen. Oshin says Casemiro, Donny and Eriksen. And then Miko says, I would personally play Casemiro and Fred together in the midfield because they have a strong partnership from the Brazil national team and would play Bruno Fernandes or Christian Eriksen ahead of them. Well, there you go. And look, options, guys. And that's what we've been crying out for in midfield for Manchester United for so bloody long. Options. And signing midfielders like Casemiro. Ideally, if we could get De Jong over the line. If we go back in for Casado or Milinkovic-Savic were been linked with as well. Options. And that's what we need. Cam says, I think Bruno, Eriksen and Casemiro would be great for United. Kevin says Casemiro, De Jong and Rice. Yeah, that would be good. But yeah, I think Casemiro and Rice are probably very similar players, to be quite honest. Alan says, would you give Casemiro the captain's armband? I said it today. I think I would. I don't want to make the same mistake that we made with the likes of Harry Maguire when he first signed. But I mean, he certainly had. I think the only thing that would stop him from getting it is the fact that, now I don't know, maybe I'm wrong in this. I don't think he speaks English. But if he spoke English, just give him the armband. Harry, give me that armband. Casa, take it there, son. All yours. On you go. But yeah, let's see what people are saying here. Keep smashing the like button for us as well, guys, if you haven't done so already. Anyone on TikTok, please keep tapping the screen for me. And follow as well for daily Manchester United content. And anyone watching on YouTube as well, please take a second, hit the thumbs up button for me. So yeah, let's get on to the most important issue. And anyone that's watching on YouTube will see the thumbnail, and the thumbnail is basically don't lose focus, okay? And that's not to the players or the manager. That's a little message to the fans, okay? And reports today have suggested that the Glazer family are understood to be exploring different ways to raise investment, including a loan or selling a minority stake in the club. And this is potentially in relation to Shadow. Thanks for the gift, really appreciate it. And this is in relation to raising money to rebuild the stadium. All right, Charlie, thanks for the gift, appreciate it. Now this is typical Glazers, okay? Typical Glazers. We want to reinvest. We want to get the stadium up to scratch. All of this kind of nonsense. It's too fucking late, lads, right? It's too late. And all of this fanfare now today, and it's typical. It's typical. Manchester United are the biggest PR sluts in living history, okay? Because Manchester United and the Glazers specifically, a lot of pressure has come on in the past few days about, Jim Radcliffe wanting to buy the club, time to get the Glazers out. And what happens? Money starts being spent. Money starts being spent. We go from being linked with £15 million players to spending 80 million or 65 million pounds on Casemiro in 3 days. 3 days that happened. And now we're going back in for Anthony. We're going to spend €100 million on him. And we're going to be linked as well with Milinkovic-Savic, another 70 million. We want another, we're going to be going in for Gakpo, which is another 50 million. All of a sudden the Glazers are saying, shit, we're in bother. Throw money at it, quick. Throw money at it. Now, okay, let's take the signings that they make because they're panicked, okay, bring them to the club, welcome them with open arms. It's not their fault that Manchester United have dirt owners, okay? Bring them to the club. Casemiro, Jong, Anthony, Gakpo, whoever else. If the Glazers want to fuck shitloads of money at other clubs and get these players signed, let them do it, alright? But do not take the foot off the pedal when it comes to keeping the pressure on these owners and getting them out of our football club, okay? Because that's the important thing here. The important thing in the long run is not Casemiro, is not Jong, is not Gakpo. It's not whether Cristiano Ronaldo says. It's not Eric Ten Hag and how we get on against Liverpool on Monday night. None of that matters. The important thing for Manchester United in terms of the next 10, 15, 20 years is that these parasites get out of our club. And we need to keep the pressure on as fans. Okay? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And that was the message that I wanted to put in relation to what the thumbnail says is, stay focused, right? Because staying focused is what's important here when it comes to getting these people out of our club. Because we can go and sign Casemiro, we can get Jong, okay? And we can get Anthony, we can get Gakpo, and we can get, Dest, and we can get Dumfries at right back, and we can get all of these players, okay? It's not going to fucking change anything. United are still going to be fucking in the doldrums. We'll still have no investment in our training ground. We'll still have no investment in our stadium. We'll still have incompetent people running the club. We'll still have the incompetent people running the club, hiring incompetent people in major areas in the club. We have to get rid of these owners. We have to. We have an opportunity now to keep the pressure on here. Okay, we cannot let up. We cannot let up, and there's only so much that we can do as fans, and I mean, look, I'm not suggesting in any way, shape or form. I have 300 people watching on TikTok and there's 55 people watching on YouTube, okay? But if what I'm saying here resonates with that 350 people and ye go out and ye put Glazers out on all of your comments, you make videos about getting rid of them, you put up posts about getting rid of them, you want this, and you interact with fan forums and channels like this. That's what matters, because Manchester United and the hierarchies there, they track social media trends, so they're tracking Facebook, they're tracking YouTube, they're tracking TikTok to see how they're trending, and what's trending in relation to Manchester United. So you might think that a simple hashtag Glazers out doesn't work. It does. It really does, and obviously the main fan groups are going to keep up, the pressure in relation to, protests outside Old Trafford and all of that kind of stuff. And that's all brilliant and very good. I don't think they should expect people not to go to the game, because everyone has a different reason to go to a game. I'm going to 2 games this year, and I'm going to go to them because I love Manchester United, regardless of who the owners are. I love the club, and I don't get an opportunity to go there that often. So, it may seem selfish from me, but my father hasn't been there in 21 years, and he's coming this year with me, so I'm going. And these owners don't give a shit about the club, and I would say to any Manchester United fan, if you want to buy a United jersey, buy a United jersey. If you have a reason to do that. If you're saying, I want to buy a Manchester United jersey because this is the first one that I've ever been able to buy on my own that I can afford, or in my case, for example, Shadow, thanks for the gift. In my case, for example, I bought my daughter, who's just gone a year old, and this is her second jersey. And I bought her one because I want her to have it. And I want to have a picture with me and her in it. And that's what's important. So don't let all of this pressure from other fans say you shouldn't buy a jersey or you shouldn't go to the game. That's nonsense. We just have to stick together, all right? And we are stronger together than we are divided. And that's what's important more than anything else. Raj says, I wonder why Bailly is not playing. Why always Maguire? Alan says, if McTominay is in the team on Monday, I give up. Twigs says, McMuffin is the best midfielder of all time. Twigs, I'm going to block you if you keep saying that. SVD says, Glazers out. And Cam says, Maguire is a joke. Let's see what people are saying here on TikTok. Let's scroll back a bit here. Keep smashing the like button for us as well, guys. Shadow MT asks for a shout out. Well, there you go. Brandon says, is Man United looking for Pulisic and Lozano? Well, Pulisic we were linked with. I think we're waiting to hear. He's having showdown talks with Chelsea over the weekend, I think, in relation to his future. So I suppose the interest has kind of cooled in the last maybe 24 hours or so. But look, maybe. We'll see. Keane says, players need to back the manager. Fans need to back the players and managers. Hashtag Glazers out. Exactly, Keane. Exactly. Mark says, do another 10 protests against Liverpool. It's not going to change anything, says Mark. Yeah, look, we just need to stick together as fans. There is better ways of getting the Glazers out. I think uniting together and getting someone like Jim Radcliffe to come out and say that he's interested in buying the club, that is more pressure than anything else, than not going into Old Trafford and not buying a jersey. That's how you do it, User says, don't go to the stadium so the owners don't have profits. Listen, the owners are going to have profits anyway, okay? Not going into the stadium for one game is not going to help. I don't think it is. That's just my opinion. I take all of your opinions on board. Everyone is entitled to their own opinions. I just don't think that's going to work. I really don't. Is Man United looking for Pulisic and Lozano? Yeah, we've done that one. Nicholas says, very selfish people. You hurt the fans enjoying salaries and big names there. NKT. I don't really understand that. 250 million last season. Let's blame the Glazers anyway, says Mark. Well, Mark, you're talking through your arse, to be quite honest with you. And look, obviously your profile picture, you're a Liverpool fan. You're talking through your arse. And a lot of these opposition fans come in and say the same thing. Oh, Glazers are spending money. They're not spending money. They're taking money from the club that the club generates to buy players. They're not investing their own money. They're taking money that Manchester United generate as revenue out of the club and putting it into their own pockets, rather than taking money out of their own pockets and reinvesting it into the club. They borrowed 600 million to buy the club. We still owe 600 million. They then refinanced the club for a further 700, I think, on top. So you have no idea what you're talking about, and you can throw in these flippant comments all you want. The Glazers have not put money into Manchester United. The stadium is rotten. It's falling apart. Not only have Liverpool overtaken us off the pitch, they've overtaken us, pretty much nearly overtaken us off the pitch as well in relation to the size of their stadium. Manchester United should be in a 100,000 seater stadium right now. It hasn't been touched since 2004. They fucked around with the with the in the K stand with the disability area, and that's okay, obviously. But that's just rearranging certain areas, and Manchester United, the Old Trafford should be 100,000 seater stadium now easily, and it should be packed to the rafters every week with 100,000, and that's it, So for any dickhead that comes in and says, "Oh, the Glazers are investing money," you just haven't a clue what you're talking about. You really don't. Let's see. Give the armband to Varane, says Kevin. Robbo says, I'm not talking about Scott McTominay anymore. Peter says, long time, man. Why Man United are always delaying in buying players in any transfer window? Yeah, look, I just mentioned to Peter, it's better late than never. It really is, We're talking long term with Ten Hag, so let's be happy with it. I'm absolutely happy with the signings that we've made in terms of Casemiro, and the ones we're being linked with. Robbo says, ask the Liverpool fan if Nunez is playing against us on Monday. We'll probably still get fucking hammered though. Although, look, we never know. I'm confident about it. FSG don't spend money either. It's only what Liverpool bring in from sales. Well, that's not true, Mark. Mark, that's not true. You're a Liverpool fan and you don't actually know that FSG invested their own money into it. They've invested something like 200 million into buying players and redoing the stadium in the last 5 years. I think since Klopp took over. I mean, I'm a Man United fan and I'm telling you stats about Liverpool. FSG are investing. Now, they don't invest heavily, but they're investing. Like, they're not like Roman Abramovich or anything by any stretch of the imagination, but they are investing their own money. This is a 5-year job. After 5 years, we will struggle to challenge Liverpool and City. User says, show your facts. Lad, just Google it. I mean, fuck's sake. Just Google it. Keane says, Liverpool be lost without Klopp, though a lot has come from him in organising the club. Oh, absolutely. I have a lot of respect for what Liverpool have done and Jurgen Klopp in general. As much as it kills me to say it, you know what I mean? I'm not on a collision course with Liverpool fans in any way. Obviously, I'm a United fan, and I want United to win and Liverpool to lose. But like, there's no Liverpool challenging, I don't think, for leagues and Champions League and winning them without Klopp. I don't think he's a revelation. I really do think that, and he's done it. I'm not going to say on a shoestring because he spent an awful lot of fucking money. He spent 100 million on Nunez this summer, 80 million on Van Dijk, Alisson as well. Patrick, thanks for the gift. So, he spent a lot of money without a doubt. But I just think the way he gets his players to play and buy into the style of play more than anything, I think is impressive, Let's see what people are saying. Please smash a like. Keep smashing them likes on the video, guys. If you haven't already done so, please hit the follow button as well for daily Manchester United content. If you're a Man United fan, if you're not a Manchester United fan, feel free to follow along as well. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of games you can laugh at me. George, thanks for the gift. But yeah, make sure you hit the follow button as well, guys. Helps out the channel an awful lot. We broke 12,000 last week in terms of followers, so it's great to see. So yeah, if you haven't already done so, and anyone watching on YouTube, please hit the like button as well, and subscribe also. I really appreciate it. And anyone on TikTok, if you haven't already done so, we're trying to hit 5,000 subscribers before Christmas. Link on my homepage for the YouTube channel. All of my social medias are there as well. The link to the podcast is there. We have a Discord you can join. The Fantasy Premier League link is there as well. So hit the link on my homepage. Anyone watching on YouTube, the link is pinned to the top of the chat as well. So you can scan the QR code on the screen. So make sure you're following everywhere, guys. Let's see what people are saying there. Let's get into it. Mark says, our net spend is about mid-table. FSG don't invest. We are for Klopp. All right, let's move on. FSG do invest, but let's move on. Liverpool have a net spend of 12 million this summer. How are they spending money? What? I mean, right, you have a net spend. How many players did you have to sell to have a net spend of 12 million? You spend 100 million on one player, so you know what I mean? And you've only won one league title in 32 years. Ah. Who's your favourite ever Man United player? That would be Roy Keane, without a shadow of a doubt. Roy Keane. Swiss Ramble will shed some light on the Glazers situation. I've no idea what that is, Keith, but yeah. Do you live stream during games, says Ollie? I certainly do, Ollie. So we do live watch-alongs on YouTube and on TikTok as well. So make sure, if you do want it, we do TikTok like this, live watch-alongs, but we also do the full experience on YouTube, where we have the scoreboard, the timer, starting 11, ticker tape across the bottom, with kind of breaking news and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Link is on the homepage. But we do watch-alongs for all of the Manchester United games. Mark. You're saying, okay, so first of all, you said Nunez isn't 100 million either. Get my facts right. It's 60 million with a load of add-ons. How many add-ons are on it? 40 million. You fucking numpty, yeah. He was 100 million. Every news outlet on the face of the planet has said it's 100 million. I mean, lad. Cottle is in. Good to see you, man. Robbo says, Keita has gone missing. Coutinho was a huge flop. Liverpool are in the mud. Can only win. City scraps, says Robbo. Okello says, or Patrick says, what's our next target? Because we need a good central defender to back up Varane. Well, our next target, it looks like it's going to be Anthony, Patrick. Robbo says, Bruce, thanks for the gifts. Appreciate it on TikTok, man. Thank you. Robbo says, Cam Defo, agree, goes missing a lot. Solo says, good evening, mate. How you doing? I'm great. Thanks for joining us. Twig says, Phil Jones has the same amount of Premier League titles as Liverpool, proving Phil Jones is the GOAT. Now, that's something I can get on board with. Cottle says, Casemiro is a class signing, one of the best defensive midfielders in the world. Still Glazers out, though. Don't fall for their trap. Absolutely, Cottle. Hit the nail on the head. Cam says, Savage, Anthony, goalkeeper Pulisic, and a defender could be a good addition. Yeah, look, it is, but we do also have to be realistic here. You know, Manchester United are not going to make 5 signings in 10 days. I just can't see it, really. I really can't. I hope they do. Don't get me wrong, I hope they do. But let's see what happens. Like I said, anyone who's just new or who's just joined, I am going to be doing the full transfer deadline day live. I haven't decided what time I'm going to go live at. I might do it maybe from 2 in the afternoon. And we're going to be going right through to 11 o'clock at night. We're going to be covering everything. So I'm going to be doing a lot of the breaking news and stuff like that is going to be on Twitter. I will be live on TikTok as well. On YouTube. So a lot of the breaking news I'll have on YouTube. So make sure that you're subscribing to the YouTube channel as well, so you don't miss out on that. We're going to be doing the transfer deadline day all day. Robbo says, I feel sorry for Mark. He's a Liverpool fan and can't count someone buy him an abacus. Alan says, if we beat the loser pool on Monday, we go above them. We certainly do. We will go above them by 2 points. 1 point. But it's a kind of a game that could go either way. Now look, Mark says, here's Mark back. Double the European Cups, 1 league behind yous after 30 years without winning it. Yeah, but how many Premier Leagues have you got, Mark? You know what I mean? You've got 1 Premier League, you know. So, look. Jog on, son. Jog on. And I do think that we would have a lot more European Cups if it wasn't for the Glazers. I really do think that. If it wasn't for the Glazers and that fucking unbelievable Barcelona team around 2009 to 2012, the fuckers bet us in 2 Champions League finals. We should have won both of them. Well, no, we shouldn't have won both of them. We were comfortably bet. But if we had won both of them, we would have been on 5, you know. So, Cottle says relegation scrap. Obviously, absolutely at the moment between United and Liverpool. Did football exist before the Premier League? Yous won 7 titles before that. Did they not count now? Oh yeah, but you're counting. You know, you're putting a lot of emphasis on the ones that were before the Premier League, and you couldn't win the Premier League. So look, you have to take the rough with the smooth, my friend. The rough with the smooth. It's good banter in the chat tonight. We're getting into it with a few Liverpool fans. Come on. Just like every Liverpool fan, always talking about United. Rent free. Okello says, how can I follow you on TikTok and Facebook, sir? So, Okello, if you see the link at the top, it's pinned to the top of the chat on YouTube. All of my social media accounts are there, and you can go and follow there. And the QR, if you're watching this on a TV screen, you can scan the QR code on the screen with your phone, and it'll take you to all of my social media links. So make sure you jump in there. Twig says, Mark needs to count. I would suggest counting how many goals Villa will score against him a couple of years ago. User says, Casemiro, another mercenary after money. United will never learn, same as Pogba and CR7. I have to disagree with you, because he could have easily stayed at Real Madrid. Charlie, thanks for the gifts. Really appreciate it, man. I think he could have easily stayed at Real Madrid for another few years and played a lot of football and won more titles. I think he wanted a change. He's come out and said that the reason he's joined Manchester United is that he does have a lot of empathy for the club, and he wants to bring them back to their glory days, which is great and what you want to hear. If you contrast that to a week ago, when Rabiot wouldn't join unless he got 10 million a year, there's the difference, you know. So I don't think he's a mercenary. I really don't. Now, Rich Jersey Store, you are going to get blocked. Charlie's in, says, yes, lads. Anyone who hasn't done it, by the way, if you haven't already heard, we do have a podcast now, and we're 2 episodes in. Myself and a friend of mine, I'm going to have more friends on throughout it. We do it every Monday night. Now, we're going to be doing it on Tuesday this week, obviously, because United and Liverpool are playing Monday night. But it's called United Community Podcast. Again, it's on my link on my homepage, and anyone on YouTube, link at the top of the chat. We talk about Manchester United. We're about an hour long, little bit over an hour. Basically, half of it is to do with Manchester United, and then the second half we talk about the Premier League fixtures in general. So go check it out. It's on everything. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Podcasts. Anywhere you listen to your podcast, you can get it. It's called United Community Podcast. Like I said, link is on the homepage and pinned to the chat. Please give it a 5-star review if you do listen to it as well. It'll really help us out an awful lot. Let's see. Sharmer says, how are you? I'm good, man. Thanks for joining us. Robbo says, probably has more of a chance of being a regular starter with how diabolical our defence and midfield is. And Twigs says, I would put Phil Jones up front. Twigs, what are you taking tonight, man? You sniffing glue? You know, you're on one tonight, so you are. Mark is back again. Klopp's won every trophy since you's last won one. Keep bringing up the past. Mark, just listen to what you've said there now. Klopp's won every trophy since you've last won one. Keep bringing up the past. It's all yous have. So have you won a trophy in the future? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, all the trophies Klopp has won have been in the past. So you're basically talking about the past as well. You're a numpty. All right? Just jog on. You're not going to win. Is Casemiro really in United? Says Goat. Pretty much done and dusted. Yep. Absolutely, he is. Absolutely. Would you like Milan's Skriniar? I would. I bought him on Football Manager a few years back, and he turned out to be an unbelievable player. And Football Manager rarely gets it wrong. Let's call a spade here. You know, he rarely does get it wrong. So yeah, I would like him. Michael says, Bangkok champions, you'll never sing that. Absolutely. Put your Bangkok champions medal on the table. United are back. Come on. Ah, yes. 7 years without a trophy. Well, that's just not true, Mark. We've won a trophy before that. So, look, you're an idiot. Jog on. 7 years. I mean, if you want to slag me, at least get your stats right, like, you know. Let's see what people are saying here. Casemiro's an absolute tinker. I love him, says Robbie D. Absolutely. He has the head of a lad from the White Bridge, don't he? Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Get him in there, boy, and get him tackling. Love it. Twig says that Mark has the right waffler. And Stephen says, confirmation from club retransfer, done deal. Happy days. Happy days. Let's just double check that on YouTube here, or on Twitter here. Let's see. Bum, 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 bum. Let's see. Oh, sorry, I never refreshed. Now. Yep, so 4 minutes ago, Manchester United, we are delighted to have reached an agreement in principle for the transfer of Casemiro. Welcome to Manchester. Happy days. And just underneath it says Glazers out. Come on. But no, look, guys, I think it's a very good signing. I really do. I'm really happy with it. I'm not getting away from the fact that it's Glazers out, and we have to stay on that, absolutely. But look, I think it's a very good signing in an area we've needed to improve for an awful long time. You know, and a lot of people, and I'm getting a lot of Liverpool fans saying it as well, and I'm sure probably Mark will jump in and say it here as well. He's 30, but Liverpool, for example, signed Thiago at 30, and we see how well he done. We see Fernandinho for Man City was ripping it up at 37 and still putting in mad performances. So, look, I think Casemiro is well good enough to come into this Manchester United team, to come into the Premier League, and, you know, to be at it for at least 3 or 4 years. Absolutely no problem. I really do. Kevin says, Man United quadruple winners 24-25 season. Cottle says, gotta love the banter though. Yeah, there's been good banter tonight now, I have to say. There's been very good banter. If you haven't smashed a like on the video, smash a like for the banter. Smash a like for the banter. Come on now. Let's get them likes up. Let's see. Robbo says, Twigs, he's a Liverpool fan. What do you expect? The future is bright. And let's see what people are saying on TikTok here. Only Man Alive says, are you getting hammered Monday by the Red Army? That remains to be seen. Who knows? These games can tend to go any which way, which has been proven the case down through the years. So let's see. I'm not confident. Don't get me wrong. I'm certainly not confident. But I would expect Liverpool to win. But you just never know. Real Madrid player are coming to retire at Manchester United. Well, I wouldn't go that far now. Patrick says, Patrick, thanks for the gift. What's your thoughts on Lindelof as a Swede? I need to know. I think Lindelof is a decent player. I think he gets a raw deal having to play beside Harry Maguire. And I said it a couple of weeks ago on one of our shows. Name me a player that has gotten better playing beside Harry Maguire. There isn't one, you know. So I feel sorry for Lindelof in that way. I do think he's a decent player. I don't think he's the kind of player that would get us back to winning league titles. But I would have Maguire on the chopping block before Lindelof. Connor from Crusheen, County Clare here. Casemiro, get in. Hashtag Glazers out. Good to see you, Connor. Thanks for joining us, man. You think Ten Hag is a manager to go? Says Michael. I don't think he should go. No, I think he's the right man for the job. Will Casemiro be eligible to play on Monday, says Keane? I don't think so, Keane. It looks like he's not going to get his visa over the line in time. So, yeah. Man United agreed to sign Casemiro. Need 8 players to win the titles. Well, look, we can't sign 8 players in one transfer window. Liverpool are a big kind of... what's the word I'm looking for? We can look to Liverpool for my mind has gone blank. So we can look at Liverpool's past in relation to transfer windows. Klopp didn't come in and sign 10 players in one transfer window. It took 3 years. It took 4 years, before you won the league or won the Champions League or whatever it was. So we're not going to get 8 signings in one transfer window, I don't think. Now look, we have 4 already. Can we get 3 more? I wouldn't put it past Manchester United if they throw stupid money at players. But we're not going to get it all done in one transfer window, guys. We have to be patient. We have to keep on it. Glazers out. And we have to be patient and back our club. We really do. And I'm certainly going to be doing it. I'm going to be doing all of the watch-alongs. It's going to be frustrating at times, but it's going to be good at times as well. So I'm looking forward to the season. We're going to do all the watch-alongs on TikTok and on YouTube. So make sure you're following, guys, if you haven't already done so on TikTok. Hit the follow button and hit the link on my homepage as well. All of my socials are there. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel more than anything else and listen to our podcast, which comes out weekly. Anyone watching on YouTube, if you haven't already done so, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe as well. Finally, Oshin says, thoughts on Begovic? Paper talk, do you want to think he'd provide serious competition for De Gea? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'd be happy with Tom Heaton being the backup goalkeeper, to be honest with you. Robbo, last one says, Robbo says, I'm surprised the deal for Casemiro has actually been going smoothly after all the mix-up and scrambles that happened when Madrid were sniffing around for De Gea a good few seasons ago. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it just goes to show that Manchester United can get fucking deals done if they want to get them done, you know. But it's all of this bullshit with the owners, you know, not releasing enough funds and, you know, oh, we'll hang on for this lad, and, you know, the board saying, oh, we could get this lad for cheaper and we'll hang on, we might get him cheaper 2 days before the transfer window closes. Bullshit, you know. It just goes to show, I think we were first linked with Casemiro Monday, Tuesday, I think, and it's Friday now and it's done. So there you go. That's how you do it. So we've just proved that we can do it, which goes to show the incompetency of the board throughout the transfer window so far, you know. But look, lads, we're going to finish up there. Really appreciate it. We are back on. I have the match preview video is going to go live on Sunday. So make sure you watch that. It's not a live video. I might do it live, actually. Maybe I will do it live. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to do it live. But yeah, I'm going to be doing the game preview. I'm also going to be doing now a match review video. So once the game is over, we'll go over and do a match review video as well. So for anyone that's watching the follow-alongs, or if anyone that's following the watch-alongs, I'll push you over to the match review video as well. So that's something that's going to be specific to YouTube. So anyone that's watching on TikTok, make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube channel as well, because we're going to be doing some videos that are specifically to YouTube and not to TikTok as well. But make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter. Listen to the podcast. Give us a 5-star review if you can. We're on anywhere you listen to your podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you are. United Community Podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on TikTok. Like the video. Hit subscribe. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm going to enjoy tomorrow because I'm playing golf all day and I'm going drinking pints after it. So I'm going to have a very nice day tomorrow. I'm not going to think about Manchester United. And please God, we'll beat Liverpool on Monday night. We'll do the video live. We'll do the match preview live on Sunday, guys. I'll do it Sunday evening. Yeah, I'll do it Sunday evening. Until then, it's been emotional. Like, follow, share, subscribe, comment, all them good things, guys. Really appreciate it. See you on the next one.